Hi, I'm Richard Middleton from Richard Middleton Architects. This is the Bundoora West student accommodation project out at RMIT's Bundoora West campus, and we're going to have a look around today. You may have noticed that the building is a kind of a cruciform, or a sort of a slightly twisted cruciform. There are three wings of accommodation around this central hub space. So this hub is 6 levels of communal space, and off 3 points there are accommodation wings. Rather than providing homerooms or common rooms at the end of each wing of course houses a cohort of students or a cohort of SOUs. Rather than them having their own communal space, we poured everything into one large set of common areas. So now we're on level 4, and this is the study zone. There's bookable rooms on this level and also this large library or study space. This is a quiet space, so people can go in there, lock the door, concentrate, look out at the trees. It's heated and air conditioned, and it also has these large day beds that actually are built on top of an air conditioning unit, which is why we've put them here, but they're actually very popular. People love sitting there with a laptop and just looking out to the trees and doing work, we hope. Notice how the lights come on when you walk past a corridor. They're all on sensors, of course. Walking past, you look down onto the entrance of the building, out to the landscape. The windows at the end of the corridor are on actuators, so when it gets too hot in the building, cool air can be drawn in if it's below a certain temperature, and drawn up through these thermal chimneys just to get air movement through these corridors. Student housing is all about creating successful communities, because often people are isolated there. They've moved from overseas or from country Victoria or country Australia. Parents come here with their kids who are obviously leaving home for the first time and are reassured by what they see, and also reassured by the staff that work here that it's quite a safe and caring environment. So we've only had good feedback. The people that work here are thrilled. They're all saying that it's the nicest student housing that they've ever worked in. Zinc, as everyone knows, just lasts so beautifully. It develops a bit of a patina over time, and it's a low embodied energy product as well, so it has so much going for it. Copperform had a great reputation. They were of course selected by the main contractor, but we were delighted when they were selected because they had an excellent reputation. They were able to pretty much work with the detailing as we refined it during the documentation phase with the builder. We had to do quite steep windowsills to keep birds off them, and Copperform was able to fold all of the metals beautifully to ensure that we didn't have any maintenance issues. They were able to work with both of the materials that we've selected, the folded powder coated aluminium and the standing seam zinc product. It's also easy to craft and fold, and we were able to get the seam widths that we wanted, and Marco was able to fold the panels to do all kinds of great things. We've got great sills around the windows, we've got great detailing everywhere, and we were just delighted with every detail they came up with. So this is the south fire stair that you can, obviously, anyone can use to move between levels. Just as a bit of fun, a bit of a cheap detail, we put these seats in, and we have a great view out of the landscape. We were very pleased that SBS was able to modularise and panelise the entire facade, because there was a huge time issue on this project. We only had 12 months to build it. That extended to 14. Doing everything off-site, creating the frames for each facade panel, SBS was able to assemble everything in a factory. Copperform would then go and apply all of the metal surfaces. Everything was delivered to site, the glass put into it. Everything was just lifted onto onto the building. Each facade module is a single level module, so they're able to just quickly lift every facade module onto the building. So the modularisation of the facade actually turned out to be a bit of a saviour for the project. So SBS did a fantastic job there. We had to work around the TPZs, the tree protection zones, that are about 30 metres in diameter. So around us there are 5 significant red gums, and they're all over 500 years old. And of course we're on an Aboriginal heritage site, so we have avoided the zone where there was a sort of a heritage trail, but we were required to not interfere with any of the trees. So there are scarred trees at a couple of points that the trail walks around and visits. Scarred trees are trees that have been carved out. Often the bark was used to make canoes or shields or implements. So you'll see a couple of beautiful old red gums with these big sort of black long scars out of them. We also minimised excavation, firstly because cost is an issue, but it wasn't worth disturbing the site when there was so much at risk. So we really went with the levels of the site as much as possible. I've always loved Tretford. It's a bit of a personal thing, but I've always known that it is a highly durable product. It's funny that so many people have picked up on this product. It's made from Mongolian goat's wool, and it's woven in Ireland. This particular product has been around for a long time. Had it in my bedroom as a child. It's just one of those products that's a bit of a classic out there that designers choose. A lot of people choose them because they know that they last quite well. It's about studying successfully, having the best possible academic outcome, but often, well, always, that will occur if you live in a supported and supportive community. It's just the new direction for shared housing. You know, it's rather than going and renting a house in the burbs, you can have just as much fun in one of these buildings, but you've also got every amenity at your disposal.